Alright, what's up guys? The Worst Duelist. I am updating Vegito. So as some of you may have saw, I did take this to a store regional. The event actually went really bad. So we'll kind of talk about that as well. I'm trying to make it brief in the beginning, but it was only 4 rounds, so it was a really small, it was only like 16 players, store regional, so it was just a little 4-rounder. My matchups were Kid Buu. I won that one. I mean, honestly, I think this deck just has a really good matchup into Kid Buu, especially like this variant as well, because your curve kind of really answers their curve very well. And then their hand up sucks, and we have a lot of combo power. Then round 2, I played against Cell. Realistically, the matchup was just basically unwinnable. And what was a huge problem was on 5 energy, I missed Bomb Coup. I milled all 3 of the Gokus. I had Vegeta, but I did not draw a Seiya, so I was unable to bottom deck his 5-drop and do the 55 swing at face for the early pressure to either get him to go to 1 or combo out. But my opponent was a very good player. He played the matchup perfectly. I was a little upset at the end because it's just like, man, it's just, Cell is just so frustrating to play against when you're playing a sort of like tier 1.5 to tier 2 deck. It's just like so unwinnable. But and especially for Vegito, because like you're kind of just like doing everything that Cell wants you to do. So that was a little frustrating, but it was honestly more frustrating that I missed on the Seiya stuff. So round 3 was against Bulma. Bulma is a toss-up matchup. People definitely sleep on Bulma. My girlfriend plays Bulma a lot. It's like her favorite deck, so it's not easy for this deck to beat Bulma because they go 4-cost Yamcha and then they go double striker, and you basically have to see a bottom deck that Yamcha because they will defend it if you go 55 into it. And then you have to go 55 into the double striker, and maybe even go 65 so that you can guarantee that they'll likely just let it go. But basically what ended up happening in the matchup was it was actually going not so bad. I did have the outs to everything, but where the problem lied was I played 3-cost Goku and I did not have Vegeta. So I bottom decked the Yamcha. I think I bottom decked the Bulma because I didn't have Vegeta to go to 55. So I swung 40 at Yamcha and he let it go. But when I played the Goku, I took a life and went to 2, which was a huge mistake because my opponent started the turn with 6 cards in hand. So I was like, oh, I might be able to just go for game. So I gave him double strike or whatever, and then I took the life and then realized like I do not have enough combo power after he took a life off of one of my other swings, and I had the Floodgate Vegito. So he added 2 cards to his hand, and I was like, I do not have game without Vegeta. So yeah, that was a little unfortunate. Definitely a huge misplay, but honestly, I think the game was not mine anyway because the life that I got, even if I just took it from them, was a 0. This is a theme, was a piercing sword out of life. So that happened in round 2. I also got like multiple piercing swords out of life from the Cell matchup when I really wish that they were 10Ks. And then so I lost that one because I went to 2 and he's double striked me. So there's not really much I can do about that. And then the round 4 I played against Sin. It actually was on stream. I forget man, I don't know the guy's content. I don't know his channel name or anything. If you're watching this, man, because I know he watches the Vegito videos sometimes. If you're watching this, please comment below and tell me your stuff so I can shout you out and link you in the description retroactively. But it was actually on stream. I played against Sin because people were requesting to see the Vegito deck. Maybe people recognized my channel or like just wanted to see Vegito, but I did play on stream. It was incredibly close and it definitely went down to the wire. My Sin opponent, I was unable to out the 5-cost Omega because he cheated in with the marker. I like swung at it a bunch, whatever, he just saved it, and he went to 4 cards in hand. The last 4 cards in his hand were like Sin, another Omega, 2 10s, and then it was Sin, another Omega, a 10 and a 5. He drew a 10 for turn and then did the Wombo combo and then was just able to beat me with 65 because when he went for the double, my 3rd life was Piercing Sword. So he had 65 to my 60, and if I got a 10 out of life, I would have survived and won in the crackback. So that was super frustrating that I just kept getting 0s out of my life, which is kind of part of what ended up happening with what I did with the deck after the tournament. There's been some changes that I made even before the event for my last deck list, which we can kind of talk about as I get into the list. But yeah, super unfortunate. An X3 run with Vegito felt super dire. My one misplay, I mean, that's definitely on me, but like, I feel like I got kind of unlucky against the Sin to at least have gotten like maybe a 2-2 record, and then unfortunately Cell is just like, that's just such a hard matchup. So hopefully Self-Destruct gets banned, because that's really what kills the matchup for the deck. But anyway, most of us here know Vegito, so we don't really have to talk about it. 40 swing if you have 20 in drop, so he doesn't draw and flip, which sucks. But anyway, we're still playing the 4 of the Trunks cantrip. Not a ton to talk about there. Here is one that we're going to go right into, right? Because a lot of people play this card. I do not like this card, okay? One of the early changes from when the format began was I took out the Shin Searcher, not because it's bad. I think the card's actually quite good, but I've changed the build kind of a lot where the Shin Searcher wouldn't really be that good anymore in this iteration. But the problem with the Shin Searcher was it's a 5k. The deck was severely lacking 10k combo. Like when I played my Life Take and I played Shin and this guy, I was just lacking 10k combo. I would get a bunch of 5s and I would lose because of it. We have to play kind of a decent number of 0s, so you really do need those 10s to kind of counterbalance that. I took out Piercing Sword. And what I took it out for was the 1-drop Mai. So this card is honestly, as you probably can already guess, it's not that great in this deck. The reason why this card is in here is because if I whiff on the Sia, and this would have came up in the tournament, because I whiffed on Sia, I had Piercing Sword and I had 4-cost Vegito, and if this was this card instead of Piercing Sword, I could have at least bounced the 5-drop to remove the 30 swing and got like some sort of tempo off of that that turn, right? I could have got a 40 swing in with this, a 40 swing in with lead, and removed his 30k. So I was thinking that maybe this could be an okay tech for Cell, and against most other matchups, it could be a free charger 10k. Yes, this card can be bricky, but like we really just need the 10k combo, and with Pilaf being banned, there's really not much else to choose from besides like Candy and some other tech pieces. But I just think that this will kind of serve that purpose, as if I'm missing Bomb Coup, I can at least go 40-40 and then bounce the 5 cost against Cell. At least as long as Cell is relevant, right? So that's going to be that. That's the 1-drops. I like Piercing Sword. Don't get me wrong, the card is good. But man, it kind of just falls back to my initial, my initial outlook on the card is it's just another 0. I mean, yeah, we need to find pieces. Like, we really would like to find that 3 cost, but like, you don't necessarily need that card to win. And if you can even just find one for the end of the game, or depending if you need it for the early cheese, then like, that's fine. Like, you don't need it to win. For the Vegeta, I mean, this is just, there's not going to really be a ton to talk about these guys. You just have to play these if you're going to play the aggro variant. They both take a life in mill 3. This one just 1 attacking, the other guy's 10k. So yeah, that's that. This is a new tech. So for Baba, I took Candy out for this. The reason why I took Candy out for this was because I took Shin out for 1. And for 2, this is kind of just better. So some people might not know this card. You put it in your drop active main. It's 2, 5, 10. So the 10k combo is obviously nice. And you play a Vegeta of cost 2 from your drop. So the reason why this is important, there's so many times when I had Candy where I'm like, God, if I could just play Vegeta and not add him back to my hand, I could do the bomb package. Well, this resolves that. I only need to have Sia or Goku and this card, and even if I mill all the Vegetas, I still have this to play him out of my drop. So obviously the 2-cost Vegeta and the 3-drop bombs will kind of go hand in hand with this card. So yeah, I like this way more than Candy. I'm not even gonna hold you. This card is really good, and I was definitely sleeping on it. People have told me to play this before, and I was like, I don't know about that card. But no, this card's really good, and it has honestly solved a lot of problems for me. As you can see, I went down to just 3 of this. Again, it's just about cutting zeros. I really do want to play 4, but this is a 58 card list, right? I went down from 60, but I just don't want to add more zeros. If anything, if I go back to 60, I want to add 2 more 10s, and there's just nothing to add. So yeah, that's going to be that. 2 of the vanilla. I mean, it's a vanilla, so. 3 of this guy. Obviously, it's the cheat in. These dudes, I mean, we all pretty much know what this promo does at this point. This card's like super good and is doing a lot for the deck. Again, though, like, you don't exactly need it to win. We know what this guy does. 3 or less can attack if you have 20 and drop. Card's very good. And then this guy cheats out the 6 drop for your 6 energy play. Or even if you stick this on 3 against some decks, you just play this guy on turn 4 to get the 40 swing out early, and you go 40, 40, 40 on turn 4, which is really good if you're aggroing down early with Vegeta and stuff. So 2 of the 6 drop, you're going to find it. You mill your whole deck. If you don't, it's okay. You don't need it to win. 4 supers, 4 saviors, 3 Sia. That's the deck. Man, I really wish that there was another like pseudo major tournament for me to try this in besides locals, because like, yeah, I can win locals with this deck. Like, that's not a problem. Locals is 3 rounds. We're not playing super casual decks, but like, I know my play group. I can win locals, and I have won locals many times with Vegito. But it's just like, I really wish there was just another like premier event for me to go to besides nationals. I can't make it to any of the other regionals. Otherwise, I'd run it with Vegito. I want to push the deck, but like, man, that was just such a dire run. A little sad, but you know, it is what it is, right? We're playing a rogue deck at the end of the day. Even if it is like a higher tier rogue deck, it's still a rogue deck nonetheless. And it's just so hard to combat Cell with the aggro variant. The high life build, the tempo build, maybe that can get there a little bit easier than my variant, but that's just not my playstyle. So I digress, whatever. I hope you enjoyed the video. A little rambling in the beginning, but I wanted to talk about the tournament since I didn't make another post about it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Try the build out. If you have any suggestions, let me know, because the Baba was a channel suggestion. That was someone in my comments told me to try it, and for the longest time I was like, and then I put it in and tried it. I'm like, yeah, this solves a lot of problems. So I'm glad I listened to that person. Whoever you are, I forget, but thank you for the insight on that. Definitely helpful for the at least for the aggro build. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.